Well, good afternoon. It is so great to see you again. See you. I know you're there. This is a really special afternoon because it allows me to be here again with you at noon for Thinking Tuesday. I looked forward to this. I'd been traveling for a while. But I'm back home now and continue to meet you here at noon on Tuesday. I was just so looking forward to this. I just have to ask you, have you ever had something that you are so excited to do, that you so thoroughly enjoy doing, that you just can't wait to do it again? Well, that's how I feel. That's how I feel on Thinking Tuesday. It's so refreshing, it's inspirational, it's motivational. And I have to confess to you that I also am inspired when I inspire you. I do get something from these messages because they help me to further explore my thoughts, reinforce what I'm experiencing, and also what I experience, what I want to experience, and make some adjustments as I gain further insights into my actions and my desires, and re examine my goals and my approach to attaining them. So I get also when I give to you. And it truly brings to life our slogan, which you've heard many times. And for those who are hearing for the first time, we believe that your mind is a garden and your thoughts are the seeds. And you can choose to grow flowers, which are the positive thoughts, or you can choose to grow weeds. And many times we passively choose because we don't do anything. So when we don't guard our thinking, negative thoughts come in to play that we're not even aware of. So we need to till our garden, till our mind's garden. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. And if it is true, and I believe that it is, that our thoughts drive our feelings and our feelings drive our actions, then it makes perfect sense that we also want to guard our thoughts and cultivate our mind's gardens so that our actions ultimately will be positive, purposeful, and that they will also support our goals, our dreams, and our individual growth. So recently, unfortunately and sadly, a very close friend of our family passed away. He was a very accomplished man, loving, kind, and very well liked. But when he received the final word that hospice was the next step in his journey on this earth, he said that he wished that he had had at least 2 more years to do some things that he always wanted to do. However, no one could ever believe, we could not believe that he had these longings since he had accomplished so much and blazed so many trails. So it was difficult for us to believe that he still had longings to do more than he had done. So it got me thinking even more about how I want to live my life and what do I want to produce. It is a question I believe that we should all ask ourselves because it allows us to it gives us an opportunity to do a check in with ourselves to see if we have a plan, which we should all have, if we're working our plan, and if we're adjusting our plan to stay on track to attain our goals and our dreams. We need to do that internal checkup. Just like we go to the doctor once a year for a physical checkup, we have to do a check in with ourselves. Are we accomplishing what we want to accomplish? Do we have to tweak our plan? Do we even have a plan? And if we don't, Why not? We gain a lot of information, and the question is, what are we doing with information or new knowledge that we're acquiring? How is it fitting into our plan? How is it helping us to grow? Are we just storing that information, or are we applying that new knowledge to improve our lives or the lives of others? Because we do so that we can do for others. We don't just hoard it. Are we information hoarders? Or are we willing to use it towards our personal growth and to improve the lives of others? So, one of the concepts that I've been using as a guide recently is the 5% rule, thanks to my mentor, one of my mentors, Cedric Lafleur. The 5% rule can be applied to any area of your life to help you attain extraordinary results. There's always a little bit more that you can do to move you closer to accomplishing or even surpassing your goals, because that's what the 5% rule is about. Your goals should not be an end in themselves, but your goals should be used to unveil your potential beyond what you thought you're capable of. Yes, I do want to attain the goals that I set for myself, and I have many. But I also appreciate what I'm learning about myself as I'm on a journey towards attaining my goals. So the goals are not an end in themselves, it's who we're becoming as we're developing new skills and getting new knowledge, getting new insight, testing ourselves as we move towards our goals. It makes us better people. It enhances what we feel that we've had. It takes away those limits that we put on ourselves as we move towards our goals. So there are many, many ways in which the 5% rule can be used. I used it this morning, for instance, during my exercise routine, just as an example. I gave myself a number of repetitions, but pushed beyond that number. I've used the 5% to move me beyond what I originally sought to attain. Each time I pushed through, I felt more encouraged to repeat the same formula for the next steps, because you know that we want to repeat those things that we are successful in doing. We have to find those inner resources to motivate ourselves, and it all begins with our thinking. It's an internal journey that we have to take. We can't expect all of our motivation to come from external sources. We have to find those inner resources to motivate ourselves. And that's an example of how I used the 5% rule this morning. How do we work against those self-limiting beliefs? Start with something, even something small. It doesn't have to be something big. Something that's doable, but something that will stretch you as well. Because we don't want to get lazy. We don't want to get something just because it's going to be easy. Because when we set our goals, it's to help stretch us. Remember that rubber band, the law of the rubber band. It's no use unless it's stretched. And we have to stretch ourselves so that we can really learn more about our resourcefulness. I used my exercise routine as an example. When I felt the burning in my muscles this morning, I didn't use that as an excuse to stop, but I engaged the 5% rule. I pushed myself beyond the burning and the pain, knowing that it's a sign that my muscles are being worked and that I will move beyond that level if I continue to take action. Because then I will get some pleasure later on, which I did, but then you have to move to the next level and you'll feel a little bit more pain and you push yourself beyond that. So I am using the 5% rule in my business also, as well as in my relationships. What can I do? How much more can I give? Give 5% more in each of those areas where I want to obtain not just results, but extraordinary results. So I ask you this morning, this afternoon, where can you give 5% more than you're currently giving? Where do you want to see yourself get better results? Where do you want to see better results for yourself? The 5% rule is something that would help you to get there. It is so enlightening, I believe, and it brings such a sense of freedom, in my experience, when you realize that you're fully equipped to do, be, and have what you desire. When you realize that you're fully resourced, fully equipped to be, do, and have what you desire, it's so liberating because the answers are within you. Our mindset is key. We have total control of our thoughts, how we think, what we think. We have total control of our feelings and our action because nobody makes you do anything. Many times we hear someone say, oh, he made me angry, or she did this to me and she's responsible. Nobody's responsible for your behavior than you. So it starts with your thinking. How do you perceive what's coming your way? How do you feel about it? And how do you choose? Because it's always a choice. How do you choose to respond? So we have more control than sometimes we believe we have. It always is your choice. It's always your choice based on your perception, which includes your thoughts. So I want to bring you back to the statement that I made about my friend in his last moments. Although from all appearances, he lived a great life. And I don't believe that he would argue against that. I believe he also loved his life, the life he lived, and was proud of his accomplishments. But he wanted to do more in the end. He wanted at least 2 more years. And you know, that's not for us to decide. But while we have our lives, what are we doing so that we don't have regrets? There may always be something that we didn't get to do, but how much can we accomplish while we're here? Are you willing to engage yourself using the 5% rule? So I encourage you this afternoon to begin to take inventory of your life. What would you like to do that you've been putting off? What excuses have you been giving yourself? Who would you like to become that you have not yet achieved? Because we're always growing. There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. What have you been telling yourself, perhaps, to prevent you from becoming that person that you aspire to be? And aspirations are not just for the youth. As long as you have breath in you, that's my philosophy, there's room to aspire. And we should always aspire. I do. Or will you also be regretful, unfortunately, for not having accomplished some of those things that you aspired to do, which are within your ability? If not now, when? Now, today is always the best time. I encourage you to find something that you can begin to focus on, whether it's personally, professionally, spiritually, financially. Where can you apply the 5% rule to add more to what you're currently doing in order for you to get extraordinary results? I am personally intrigued by this mindset, and I'm committed to continue to look for areas where I can apply it. Because knowledge is wasted if it's not used to improve our lives and the lives of others. I'm also aware that we often don't take action because we don't know how or where to start. But if that's you, I have an answer for that. I invite you to reach out to me for a complimentary consultation to help you get started or at least to put you on the right track. You can see my programs and my services on my website, drcherylburton.com, and I encourage you, as I usually do, to share this message with someone who can benefit from it. You may also view past Thinking Tuesday messages, as well as this one, on my YouTube channel, Cheryl Burton Thinking Tuesday. And I encourage you to go out today, create a great day, look for ways in which you can apply the 5% rule. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at noon for another message on Thinking Tuesday. It's always my pleasure to meet you here at noon. Take care and be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. I'll see you next Tuesday for Thinking Tuesday at noon. Take care and bye for now. Bye.